How many seasons is that? Like 13?
15, 16, I think.
Something like that. It's a lot.
The ending was so bad. Like, it hurts because I loved that show. But I've always said it should have ended as, like, season 5.
I haven't watched it. No spoilers.
I watched like the first season, but I completely forgot where I ended off, and so I never went back to it.
It picks up more in like season 2 and 3. The first season is kind of slow.
Yeah, it's a pilot.
It's good, but it's slow. Yeah. They're kind of figuring out what the characters are like and whatnot still at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard, speaking of CW, I've heard Superman and Lois is like really good for a CW show.
Yeah, I think it's really good actually. I watched the first 3 episodes and juxtaposed that with The Flash. The Flash seems terrible now in comparison.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought The Flash has been their best one yet. But
It
I haven't
has,
seen that one.
Yeah, I never got into the Arrowverse stuff. I tried to watch it a couple times, and I was like, oh, man, this is silly.
I wasn't super impressed with The Arrow. It was okay, but The Flash was good.
I'll tell you what, like, superhero show series I kind of enjoyed was the Marvel stuff on Netflix. So, like,
But Jessica Jones and
Iron
Daredevil.
Fist.
Luke Cage,
Daredevil.
Iron Fist.
yeah, Iron Fist, Daredevil, Luke Cage, that stuff was pretty good, I thought.
The Punisher, that.
Yeah, the Punisher was
good.
great. Yeah.
Yeah, my opinion on Flash is like the first season was pretty good, and the second season was alright, and then kind of fell off a bit after that. In my opinion.
It
Yeah.
seems very corny now.
Yeah, they just kind of
Very dramatic now, yeah.
they just go insert villain from comic book, repeat previous season's plotline, go.
Right.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
But season 1 was really good.
It's weird to see,
All the different wells are nice, though. They're always funny.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, it's weird to see, like, CW seems to be one of those networks that consistently puts out, like, a weird product. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of strange. But it's like some great shows have come out of CW too at the same time. So it's just their chaos plateau is real, I think.
But you should definitely check out Superman and Lois, I think. It's pretty good.
Yeah, okay. I always liked the like hyper intelligent alien Superman. Okay. You know, because there was like was it Batman versus Superman or whatever, and Batman can just sneak up on him and shoot him with kryptonite, right? It's like,
Right.
no, Superman is he's an alien. He's a super intelligent alien from outer space. He would be able to see that stuff coming. He would be ready for it, kind of thing. I don't know. That's just me.
Or you can at least hear you with his super hearing.
It's hard to do Superman because he's
OP.
Yeah. it's
Nerf
hard to do.
Superman.
It's just,
I've never understood how Lex Luthor even had a chance against him at any point.
nobody does.
Yeah.
Nobody would really have a chance.
Nobody in DC. Some of the
Except for,
Marvel heroes could definitely put up a fight.
What was it? Doomsday? Didn't Doomsday take him down at some point? That was a thing. I think almost killed him. I think that was a thing.
Did he actually die at one point?
Yeah, I don't remember. And then they started doing like alternate universe stuff, where they had the Superman who was like evil Superman from an alternate universe. He's wearing all black or something.
Yeah.
Bizarro Superman or whatever. Okay.
If you want to know who can beat Superman, just listen to Superman versus Goku by ERB.
Yeah, Goku is kind of one of those OP guys too. The thing about Goku is he's kind of an idiot, right?
Yes.
And he just gets lucky over and over. And then you have Vegeta, who has been working his entire life to be the most powerful Saiyan, and always falls short of this idiot who just gets lucky and, you know.
Yeah.
You
Really
he's a
teaches you that working
stereotypical-
hard will earn you nothing.
He's a stereotypical manga shonen character.
But like with Goku, I think his strength comes from his innocence, right? Like Goku's always been, he's always been kind of a naive character, and my view of it is he's always been like a little kid, like he was in Dragon Ball. That's his personality he's had through his whole life.
Yeah.
To the point where like even having Gohan, having a son, it's like I don't think Goku really knows where he came from.
I feel like it's the same with a lot of mainstream manga characters though. Like Naruto and Luffy from One Piece are the same way too. They're very innocent.
Very stupid. Yep. I think
Very
Naruto
stupid.
gets smart near the very end, but not that
Right.
smart.
Yeah, but
Got lucky.
I think that might be why Goku is so strong, because he just he doesn't have that voice in his head telling him he can't do it. You know, he just thinks that this is
Right.
normal. It's normal to be able to punch rocks and they blow up and stuff.
Yeah, this is also backed up by Caboose in Red vs. Blue. He's the same way.
I've never managed to really
Someone has
like.
seen that.
I've never managed to like really get into anime. I remember the one, like, except for when I was a little bit younger and it was just kind of like cartoons to watch, you know. But
Yeah.
I remember the one anime that I got into for a while was just Death Note, and I was watching through it for a while, and someone who was like really, really into anime, like, walked up to me and they're like, "Hey, do you watch any anime?" And I'm like, "I mean, I watched Death Note," and I was angrily told that that was not an anime, and I was like, "Okay."
Death Note,
Okay.
Death Note was a
Sure.
I don't
great show.
understand their logic, but
And they're like, I think there was something along the lines of an American worked on it, so it's not anime.
Oh,
gosh, I
And they were very angry.
the live
too many
the live action.
times because
No, not the live action, like the original show.
Oh,
Yeah, the original, animated show, anime.
Yeah.
was
And
pretty
they're
good.
like, that is not anime. And I was like, I mean, I thought it was pretty good, and I'm pretty sure it was anime. I mean, it was Japanese-style animation in Japanese, you know, based on a manga. Seems like anime to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I've ever been into anime, but I've watched a few of them, I guess. Somebody's been telling me I need to watch Attack on Titan.
I've heard a lot of good things about it, too. I just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah.
I've only
me
watched the
either.
first season, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. It's super great. Like, it grabs you in the first season, is what people say.
I watched the first season. I started reading the manga, and then I quickly stopped liking it. But then I heard that it gets a lot better.
Well, it's kind of like Game of Thrones. It's got that wow factor of main characters don't always live.
Oh, okay.
And that's what ends up making you, oh, they don't have plot armor. Interesting. Let's see who dies this time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Man, Game of Thrones, there's a show that pissed a bunch of people off. Everybody loved that show until they ended it, and then everyone hated that show. And you never heard about it again. Like, nobody ever talked about it after that.
Yeah,
Weird.
since I'm younger, there's a lot of shows that just, like, when they were airing on TV, we didn't have cable and I was too young to watch them, so, like, I just haven't gotten around to watching Breaking Bad or Walking Dead because it's so hard to get into a show and there's, like, 9 seasons of it.
Walking
Yeah,
Dead.
I started watching a little bit of Walking Dead and I just haven't really... I'm only an episode or two in, so I'm not, like, super hooked yet, but it seems good so far. I've heard...
Walking Dead is good until the last few seasons.
Yeah, I
I'll
was
just
gonna say,
I'll just watch seasons like 1 through 6 then.
yeah, after like 5 or
100%,
6, it's like starts to get a little weird. They've totally changed the show,
Mhm.
and they totally changed it from what the books were. See, I was a big Walking Dead graphic novel person before the show came out. I was reading the I had the compendium. You know, the big. It's like 100 issues in one big book. And I was reading through that, and man, the book is so good. It's so much better than the show. In the book, they can get way darker with stuff that they couldn't do on the show, and some of watching the show, it's like they rip off stuff from the book, but they'll change what character it happens to, or
tweak it.
Yeah, and I don't know. And then they ended up taking the show in a totally different direction. There in the last couple seasons. I haven't watched it since.
The most confused I've ever been by like movie show adaptations or just Ready Player One as a book to the movie. It was just like, it wasn't a bad movie. It was just so weird compared to it. They switched it all.
Speaking of
it's
confusion.
like they did the same thing to that as they had done to, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Ella Enchanted, but I used to love the book when I was in middle school, and when the movie came out, they changed so much that I hated it. It would have been an okay movie if I had never read the book, but
I remember that.
because of the book, it
Anne
was
Hathaway, right?
awful. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was one that had really upset me.
Yeah, right on.
The biggest tragedy ever to me at 6 years old was the discontinuation of Bionicles.
My brother too.
I was so sad. I had to, I spent the next year or two just waiting for the next movie to come out that was promised to me at the end of the previous movie. Never came out. Never made another toy. I was pissed. Not like that.
Wait, they made a Bionicle movie?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
trust me. They were bad. They were really bad. But 6-year-old me loved it.
I had some of the you would buy the Bionicles like toys.
The
when I was a
toys.
kid, when I was like
Mhm.
10. And you'd buy. They come in like these little canisters, and they're like
Yep.
Legos. You'd open them up and assemble
Put 'em
them. I had a
together.
couple of those. Yeah.
And they had different typings, like elements.
Yeah.
Mhm. I still have
Yeah,
one.
that was the greatest tragedies of all time.
I still have one. My brother gave it to me. It was like one of the first gifts he ever gave to me, so I put it in my memory box.
Right on. Well, it's been real talking about Bionicles, but great segue. But what happened last week? Does anybody want to fill folks in case they missed it? Or I can.
This isn't our new podcast where we talk about anime and movies for 4 hours.
I mean, we can do that. I've been kind of itching to start like a little podcast show. Yeah. Okay, guys. Forest Flesh is canceled today. Instead, we're doing what should we call the podcast? Forest of Pop Culture.
Yeah.
Oh, would you look at the time? I gotta go.
I'll see myself out.
A lot happened last week, right? I just don't remember it.
Oh yeah, I remember the ending mostly, but
Yeah, there was an ending. We picked up with you guys on the road right after Kashama's unfortunate end. Right?
untimely, maybe unfortunate. I don't know.
I mean, unfortunate implies that people didn't profit off of it.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and there was some dividing of loot. That's how we started this session, I think. Then once that was settled, Havoc and Ambien went searching for the guy who got away.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it was also raining and still really foggy and stuff. So you guys tracked him off the road, and you picked up his trail, basically. And when you caught up with him, it took about 20 minutes, I think we said.
Mhm.
He was a corpse. You found him out in a clearing. He had been posed and left with a message for you guys that said 1 down, 5 to go. And it was sort of taunting you guys about watching you guys sleep. And it was signed with a specific seal or stamp in blood of a red fist, as if it's like punching the paper. Havoc recognized it as a symbol for the Circle, or what was Council of Wrath. That's what they were called. And you knew what they were, right? That they were like a ninja assassin guild, kind of, with rumors of devil worship around them, and dark magic and stuff like that. And they have just a reputation of being ruthless killers, and near untraceable. Nobody knows who they are, kind of thing. And it seems they're on your bounties. Yeah, so that happened. And then you guys decided to spend the night on the road, right?
I thought we moved off the road.
Well, you guys found a place to camp in Tiny
Yeah.
Hut.
Right.
We
Off the
argued a
road,
while. We argued a while about the turtle shell and how
Yeah.
to deal with that.
Oh, yeah. You made a sled, right?
Threats
What
were
happened?
made.
Yeah, and then Kitty pulled it,
Okay.
and then we found a new guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
then
and us.
as
No,
you guys,
new guy found you.
yeah, as you guys set up camp, Meryn, you want to, basically a really short guy, a really short-looking guy, riding a hawk, basically standing on a hawk is much too small to be able to lift him, but it works for some reason. Came flying up in the night and basically located Havoc. They seem to have a previous relationship, I guess. Warned about the bounty, I guess, that you guys already knew about. And sort of gave you guys instructions to meet him in 5 Rings after messing with Havoc with rope trick and magic for a little bit. Then I think we just basically cut to the town after that, right?
Yeah, we kind of fast forwarded to the town and our entrance.
Right.
And finding the inn that forgot his name already. You just said it.
Meryn?
Meryn was in.
It's on the screen. That's the only reason.
Changes it every 3 weeks when he makes a new character. So it's hard to think.
It's not my fault that you guys keep.
Tim is the most killed player.
Ever.
While we,
Yep.
By far.
While we were
The only
on the road, we had also tested to see if Havoc could take off the bracers with the ring on, or if what was the spell that Ambien used?
Feign
Gentle
death.
repose. Oh, feign death.
Yeah. And none of it worked, but Havoc never took that ring off.
All right, and Ambien put his fingers in Vaira's mouth.
Yep.
Yeah.
And got bit.
Yeah.
Oh, and there was
forgot about that.
and there were some corpse totems, so that was cool too.
Oh yeah.
All of those things make sense when in relation to each other. Of course they do.
Yeah. And yeah, you guys were sitting and chatting in the inn in 5 Rings when we got to the inn after sort of working through some of this stuff. Talking with Meryn, who was very paranoid and didn't want to talk out loud and that kind of stuff. And then we saw a dwarf sit down and start chatting up Havoc. And we panned over to the window, and we got that whole cloth moving in front of the camera effect. The scenery sort of changed to black and white scenery with mist and fog everywhere. And we saw a spider, a big, translucent, white and bluish and purplish colored spider. I put an image of it in the thumbnail for the video. Hanging in the window and sort of watching you guys. Yeah, and then it just sort of repelled back up to the ceiling and crawled along the ceiling and out the window. And then we sort of ended the episode there. Yeah, but I guess we can. You guys want to just pick up right where we left off?
Yes, so I think Sol and Kitty are sitting outside with the turtle shell, right? Vaira
Yeah.
is upstairs in a room. Meryn is upstairs in a different room. And Havoc and Ambien are sitting at the table where the dwarf just walked up.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think that sounds like a pretty good memory. We're on this map.
5
I think
rings.
we're supposed to be on this map.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm just getting used to a new screen. All right. So, yeah, we cut back in, and the dwarf laughs and he hits the table, and maybe splashes some of some ale that he's got in a mug, and he says, Havoc, I didn't figure you for a face tattoo person. What's going on with the new ink?
I assume he's referring to the black veins.
Yeah.
Okay. Do I recognize this person?
Yeah. It's one of your criminal contacts. This guy's probably a hired muscle, or maybe he fences some things from time to time. Small stuff.
Does he have a name?
Yeah, let's see what his name is. I didn't know if you were just going to kill him on the spot. So.
I mean, when I insult him, I want to insult him by name. Show a little respect.
His name is Eoji Deej.
Of course it is.
It's probably not a real name.
Yeah, you did.
A chat?
Eoji Deej, yeah, it's funny sounding. Yeah, we'll just, I use a generator, well, at least Roll20 does, and sometimes they're a hit, sometimes they're a miss.
That was a foul.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Eoji Deej just kind of it rolls off the tongue really well,
Yoji.
Not if I cut it out.
And just the tongue rolls.
Or flops, as the case may be. I don't know how I want to respond to this.
So, he's just talking to Havoc, right?
Yeah, I mean, he sat down at the table.
I mean, he started off the conversation by talking about how to kill tieflings, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's always, this is his personality, right? He's joking around with you. He's always kind of a dick, but it's just his way of, he laughed. He wasn't being serious.
Okay. So,
yeah,
Ambien?
He's just trying to be humorous, but now he's asking about the marks on you.
Go ahead, Ambien.
Oh, you can talk with him. I'll do my thing later.
No, you
please,
can do your you can do
please
your thing.
take me to
okay.
the door.
So, Ambien's gonna use shape water to hit the guy with his beer or his thing. What he's drinking, to splash it on himself.
So you cast a spell and make his beer splash on him.
Yeah.
I
He
guess.
just has to wave his finger.
Yeah, the components
Yeah,
are somatic only. So, do you try to hide it?
I try to hide it.
You do?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to make a stealth check?
Okay.
And we'll
Swear
see
to
what.
or something.
We'll see if Yoji knows it was you.
Oh, it's not stealth. I mean, it's not advantage, so take the 4.
The 4. Okay. Well, he might roll a 1. You never know. He's only for
Passive.
now.
Passive perception is usually at least 10.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's true.
I was gonna say he's only a commoner, so all his stats are 10. But yeah. Okay. Yeah. He sees it, and I think he starts laughing, and he says, "I guess the next round is on me." And he like licks his mustache, and then he offers up a wet hand to you, Ambi, and he says, he like tilts his head and he says, Yoji's the name. Thanks for making me smell like beer.
Oh,
You already did.
Enchanté, my name is Gilliman. Were you flirting with my man over here?
Wait, flirting? No, we're what? He looks at you, Havoc, and he's like, his eyebrows furrow up.
I stare back with a completely blank expression.
Havocins, is this your man? Or is this your ex or something? Do you know this person?
Oh, sorry. Am I interrupting something? All right. Havoc, you can explain the marks later. I will leave you with your very lovely date. He tilts his head towards Ambien, and he turns around and it starts marching like military style towards the door. Not a military guy, just very awkward. I think we get a cut of like his face as he's marching towards the door, facing away from you guys, and the expression on his he just mouths the word "wow" and just like walks out the door. Yeah, that's it.
Once he's outside, out loud, softly, I will say, "Nicely handled."
So who is that man? Or the dwarf?
Just someone I've worked with.
Through the mind link, you suddenly hear, "Why did you go quiet?"
What was the last thing that we said between Meryn and Havoc? I feel like we were waiting for something.
Meryn went up to his room and said that it was he couldn't come back out after just leaving the room. It would be too awkward.
Right.
People would realize something was up. And then I think he was going quiet because he realized that he had made a deal for a percentage cut on the loot, and I think it was
11%, and
something like that. And then the information, the tablet.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever. He doesn't know that it's in the form of the stone tablet. He just knows that you have information. And then kind of had to deal with the awkwardness of the fact that he didn't realize that other people were looped into the mind link and could hear him saying we should turn them in.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
so
we
kind of
had
went
come
quiet
to
after the
terms.
terms.
What was your part of the deal? That was what you get out of it. What were you supplying? I forget. Were you supplying the location of the guy or
Help.
help? Fantastic. Help in what form? Did we discuss that?
I don't think we did. I think that he was trying to stay as vague as he could, and you agreed to it. I think it was help you kill him, or help you get revenge.
Okay.
Havoc knows what... Does Havoc know what you trade in?
Yeah, information.
I would assume so, yeah.
Yeah, maybe you had some useful information.
Yeah, I assumed because he works out of this town that he would know where this, I forget his name, the guy who collared us and sent us on our mission.
Krudia, yeah.
Where he's stationed, what his operation looks like, information.
I think that's pretty safe.
Meryn probably has that information, but he also probably assumed that anyone would have that information because it seems so simple to him.
Yeah.
He probably didn't even think to try and sell that.
Or Or maybe you're afraid Crudiat will try to kill you too, right? Because he's like a super. You're paranoid, kind of. Is that a character
Very.
trait we're going with, the paranoid
Yeah.
thing? Okay. Yeah, I mean, it might make sense too if, yeah, you were just worried about getting the information because people, die around this dude a lot. I don't know.
Generally my targets, but Are you talking about me as the dude?
Yeah, you or Crudiat, I guess. Either
Yeah.
or, really.
He probably
I'd
kills
say
me.
I'm both paranoid about trying to get involved and also too curious for my own good. So
Yeah.
Winning combo.
That makes sense. Okay. If you guys want to try to figure out what kind of information on him you might have?
yeah, history or
Well, let's talk first about what like just brainstorming kind of stuff you might be looking for, like an address or like what do you
where he lives, what his security is like.
What he himself is capable
What?
of. What
Yeah,
he feels
how
and,
strong he is.
Okay.
I think you described him as kind of older.
Yeah. He's
And
like
his
He's
only
a-
weapon is the staff thing.
yeah, so
This
he
may
wields the
not-
staff. Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Ella. Sorry for interrupting you over and over again.
It's alright.
We'll see one.
Right. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. That all sounds about right. Yeah, he's not like he knows basics of how to wield a weapon, right? Like he was military, so he was trained with, how to handle a sword. But he probably never fought like on the front lines of a battle also because he's sort of a noble. He's a wealthy guy. So yeah, he's probably not a particularly imposing fighter or anything. And I think he probably hides behind the staff when it comes to dealing with indentured people that he owns essentially. I mean, he's just using you guys to do his bidding. That's
Right.
really what it comes down to.
It is another thing that Havoc would want to know eventually, and we can have an actual conversation, but whether or not he keeps collars on all the people around him all the time so that he always has control.
Okay, I think you would know. I mean, some of you guys might have met him or at least met people working for him. No, not everyone work. Like some of them are paid mercenaries. Some of them are like a private company, right? So we're not just talking like ragtag group of people who know how to fight and get together to make gold. We're talking like Blackwater, right? Like we're talking, companies made for mercenary work, organized businesses that he hires out sometimes, or perhaps owns, right? He is ex-military. It would make sense if he owned like a mercenary business. And I think, he might only have, a few dozen bracers on people. But those are probably the people he uses for the jobs that are more dangerous because they're more expendable, right?
Did we discuss
So-
whether he was connected to the court or not?
He would have to be
Yeah,
to get
I mean,
those razors.
yeah. Also, ex-military points to the fact that he was, serving.
Court. So he's got connections. He's very wealthy. But all the power he wields is his money and his collars. So if we actually get close, he's a dead man.
Yeah. He's probably a rather insecure person, really. Like I said before, a lot of vices. He probably does various illicit substances, drinking, opium, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and is probably obsessed with status and that kind of thing. Borderline.
Can Can I roll a check to see if I know that he has anyone that tests to see if anything is poisoned?
Yeah, I mean, you can make your check. I'll probably give you some more information too. But yeah, we'll include that in it.
Okay.
And what you wanted history, right?
History or investigation would make sense to me.
Yeah,
They're
either
the
or.
same, so. That's not supposed to be advantage. Oh, not one.
You do have.
I know nothing.
You do have a +8. Yeah, as far as you know he lives in the Jade, the Jade district, but you don't have an exact location. You're gonna have to do some work to dig it up. Maybe you know a guy who knows a guy, or you know a guy who knows the location or something. A guy who used
Through the mind
maybe-
link.
Maybe it's
He
somebody
lives in
who
the
used to
Jade
employ.
District. I'll tell you more when we get there.
Right.
Yeah, you know a guy who used to be employed by him and was bitter about it after he was let go. So you're pretty sure he'll tell you, but you haven't exactly had the conversation yet.
Okay.
What was some other stuff? I mean, you got a 1. I don't think there's really much more information. I can
Yeah, I'm not gonna try to badger for information with a 1. I don't feel like I should get much.
It's a shame that you got a +8, rolled a 1, but
Oh, he's gonna be useful.
you've been having some bad rolls, man.
Oh.
What's going on with you the last
Yeah.
few weeks? But
Last few
it's been
weeks,
actually-
don't you
it's
mean
been like a
since
couple-
like the first session?
it's been a couple
No,
of months.
first session I had a couple good rolls. I had
Yeah, he did.
I rolled a 20 one time.
Did you trash talk Roll20 on social media or something?
I don't know. Maybe I left it running one too many times in the background, and they're like, "Hey, using up our servers?" I don't think so. Not without
Yeah.
paying.
Yeah,
I
no.
No.
think so.
Actually, Ella should have the worst. Yeah.
Yeah,
I've gotten
Ella
all
would
the
roll nothing but
achievements.
ones.
I remember a bit ago I was like, Ella leaves it running a lot. I'm gonna check her profile and see how much time she just has in Roll20 from leaving it on. And I was like, oh wow. Oh wow.
Wow. You know.
She's been logged in since her first
Yeah.
session.
No, it logs me off sometimes.
Oh, okay.
Which is bad because I forget my password every time.
Okay. So through the mind link, Havoc will reply, just daydreaming about simpler times.
This is not the time for that.
Right.
Time is never simple.
Meryn, you said he lives in the Jade District.
I did say that.
And what else do you know?
That is a correct fact. I know a lot of things. About a lot of things.
What else do you know about him and his home?
12%.
No, we're not renegotiating. That's bad business.
Well, I know a guy.
And this guy's name is...
This guy's name is... Ramblinman.
Okay, let's do. All right. Let's generate a name. Oh no.
His name is...
Can we try again? His name is. His name
What is his name?
Yoji Jeed instead of no, it's not. Hang on. Oh my gosh. Okay.
It's a very common name.
Yeah, it's Yoji is actually this world's Mohammed or whatever the most common one is. You know a guy named Half.
H-A-L-F, half?
Yeah. That's what we're going with.
I know
Is
I
it-
know a guy named Half.
Is he a
Last
halfling?
name Ling.
You want to make him a halfling? We can do that.
Yeah. Is his last name Ling though?
No, I wasn't gonna
Oh.
That would be fantastic and
do
totally
that.
totally fit the realm we're playing in here.
Yeah, first name Half. Last name
Ling.
something with an ing. I don't remember.
Maybe it's just like a nickname he uses.
Lives in there. Used to work for Crudiat. A bit of a disgruntled employee.
Disgruntled works. Where's he at?
12%.
If you say 12% again, it's
13%.
2%.
11% it is.
Good. Glad we got that out of the way. Where's he at?
Do I know where he's at?
You
At
want
the time, or am I gonna have to go look for him?
I feel like you would have a good idea where to find this guy. He's probably hanging out in the dirt district now that he's, down on his luck a little bit. Maybe,
Just like us.
yeah, maybe looking for work or something. You might have even, you're a pretty smart guy, you might have even planned ahead and maybe he's supposed to be here any minute or
Alright.
at a nearby pub or something.
He's pretty close. Not far away. Should be walking in the door pretty soon.
You got a high intelligence, right?
Yeah.
Make an intelligence check. Oh, okay. Never mind. Like if you rolled high, he was just gonna walk in the door right there. Like you're just gonna know exactly when he got there. But yeah.
Wait. Oh, I have luck points.
Oh yeah, you want to?
I'm lucky for a reason. Hang on. There we go.
Alright.
Make sure I can use it on this ability check. Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I'll let you pick
Special return
which
next
rolls
week.
you want to use. You can pick either of those rolls to use. The 11 or the 11. Which would you like?
I'm gonna use the 11 that's higher up because that makes it a 12 kind of, right? Because it's higher than the 11.
Oh.
Even
Yeah.
with the lucky feat, you can't roll. Like, you can't get a good
This is gonna be difficult.
It's
Oh.
weird because you have good stats. It doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, you
Nope.
should be buying.
It shouldn't be happening.
This is the
I'm the
player,
best
not
at
the
rolling
player.
really good character stats and really, really bad rolls in general.
Somewhere in the world right now, Will Wheaton is just rolling 20s nonstop, and he's just like, "Why is it
Right.
happening?" All right. Yeah. Okay. If you're gonna sit here and wait and be like, "Nope, wait for it," he's gonna walk in. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a few minutes. I think.
Yeah, he's
Have a
he's
couple
very
wait
confident.
about-
He's not the luckiest here, but he's very confident that he scheduled it correctly. Should be here anytime.
Have a good wait
Any
about
moment
1
now.
minute.
Yeah, I think
silence.
what happens. I think what happens is the door opens, and we heard your phone ringing, so we hear like the chime of a bell as the door like clanks against a bell, and a dude walks in, and you're like, oh, and then he like takes his hood down. You're like, nope, that's not him. It actually.
I'm upstairs.
Well, he's upstairs. He can't see.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Never mind.
This is going well.
You probably hear me
So what's
tapping
this
my
guy
foot
look
on
like
the floor.
that walked in?
Sorry.
What's this guy look like that just walked in? Because
Uh,
Havoc assumes it's the guy.
Oh. Yeah, he's just a human. We'll say he's wearing like cheap leathers, and a cloth hood that's been oiled. He's probably got mostly stubble for a beard, but his mustache is really well grown, blondish, brownish hair, so like a dirty blonde, and thick eyebrows, real thick eyebrows. Looking at him, you're like, maybe he's part Hildorf or something, because he's got that thick hair.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
For someone named Half.
Yeah. Do you want to like chat him up? He walks in, he like kind of shakes the water off, and or I guess it's not raining today, so never mind. Yeah, and he just looks around and kind of takes in the place, and then he's gonna walk towards the bar.
I'll wait and see what he does first.
Does he say anything through the mental link about this or no?
Not yet.
Oh yeah, he just walks up to the bar and he orders a drink. He orders an ale. The barkeep says, "Oh, how you doing today, Alan?" And the guy says, "Oh, just fine. Just another day of hard work. Getting harder to find prey out there. Their traps aren't catching anything, you know." And yeah, and the guy's like, the barkeep's like, "Yeah, tell me about it. You're not the only one complaining." You know, he pours him ale. Yeah, and they just start talking about his day. Just some guy. It's not like it's not anybody important.
Havoc is not an idiot, so he will probably realize this is probably not the person.
Okay.
This person was coming here to meet someone, and that guy didn't look around like he was looking for someone in particular, so...
All right. Do you guys want to do something while you're waiting for this guy to show up, or are we just... Because if we're just going to play the waiting game, then we can just cut to him showing up.
I check my watch. Yeah, he was supposed to be here 3 degrees ago.
Can I do something?
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you like to do?
You said there were children outside looking at Kitty, right?
Yeah. Some kids were probably checking out the cat or something. I think we talked about that. Yeah.
And then the cat growled.
Yeah. Can I beckon one over? Hey, kid.
Sure. The kids like they're like looking at each other. Their eyes are wide, and they're looking at you. They're like, and wait, and then one of them goes, "Wait, me?" He points at himself.
Yeah, you. Come here.
And he's sort of timidly starts to take a step in your direction. The other kids are like, one of the other kids goes, "Don't worry, I'll tell your parents what happened to you." And he takes off running. Yeah.
Child.
Yeah. He just sort of walks up. He's silent. He is not able to speak, talking to a giant robot.
Well, he's not a robot. He's a lumberjack.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. But you got this giant metal cat, so he's
Right.
probably just in awe with the cat.
Right. So I keep seeing your glances at Kitty. Do you want to pet him?
Well, is he gonna bite or something?
Nah, he's friendly. Right, Kitty? And then Kitty meows.
Oh, it meows just like a regular cat.
Yeah, feel free to pet him. He's not as furry as a regular cat.
You're not just trying to feed me to this thing, right? It'll be a real mean trick, mister.
Nah, I'm telling the truth. I can sense your curiosity. And go on, touch him.
Yeah. So he reaches out like a shaking hand towards Kitty. And how does Kitty react when he goes to pet him? Probably on the head, I think.
I think Kitty would just like move his head closer to his hand, kind of like that scene from How to Train Your Dragon. He just kind of like moves closer until
Yeah, okay.
his hand touches his head.
He goes, "Whoa, what's it made out of?"
It's made out of metal.
Oh,
That's why he's hard.
but does when you know how when you pet a cat, they like it, right? Does he feel it?
He can feel in a way, but probably not the same way as you.
My dad wore a piece of metal on his chest once, and he said not to worry because he couldn't feel anything.
Well, he can feel, just he can't. It takes a lot more than just the regular touch to have him feel it. But he's kind of cold, don't you think? How does he feel?
It's not as soft as normal cat, I guess. But if he likes it, well, if he can't feel it, that's sad. I mean, I think all cats should be able to get pets, right?
Well, think about it this way. Just because he can't feel it physically doesn't mean he can't sense how much you care for him. Me and Kitty have been with each other for a very long time, and even though I can't pet him like a normal cat, he still appreciates my love.
Well, that's cool. Does he do any tricks?
Kitty will just circle around him and purr. Not exactly.
What do you feed him?
He doesn't eat, actually.
He doesn't eat.
No.
Doesn't get hungry, or he doesn't want to eat. There's a lot of good food.
Yeah, he doesn't get hungry, but you know how normal cats die because you don't feed them?
Yeah.
We don't have that problem.
Well, yeah, but he'll never know what milk tastes like, or Master Talk's noodles. That's kind of a shame, right?
Do you like Master Talk's noodles?
I mean, whenever we get enough money to splurge a little bit and purchase some at the stand, yeah, they're pretty good.
How much does his noodles cost?
Oh, they're not really expensive. I mean, a few copper. You can get a really big bowl for a silver. It's serve a bunch of people.
Is this the same group of kids that feed treated to food?
Yeah, maybe it is. I think they don't look as dirty.
Hey, Ramblin'?
Yeah.
Apparently the stream has no audio. I just checked it.
What?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It's completely silent. And someone in the chat said no audio.
It shouldn't be. That's weird.
I have it running right now, and there's
I'm not hearing it either.
nothing.
Uh-oh.
Actually, I had it running earlier, and I didn't hear any sound coming, but I thought maybe I just had it muted in some way, but no.
All right. Well, I don't know what happened to the audio.
Now there's sound. Now there's sound coming, but I thought.
Okay. Well, I don't know. My audio output capture is not working the same way it used to, so I had to switch it over.
Yeah, just so you guys know, we made a lot of really funny jokes and came up with the most original content. While you guys couldn't hear, and it actually...
It's only a whole hour of the show. Man, the whole time.
Well, I don't know what happened to the audio.
Yes, but it's fixed now.
Yeah,
so...
but I can hear it echoing through your mic or somebody's mic.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where it's
capture is not working.
Well, the good news is... Whoops, I muted right when I was saying that. I'm also recording from my computer, so you can add the audio to the video later. I'll send it over.
Yes, tune in to the recap.
Yeah, watch the VOD. I mean, not a whole lot's happened, right?
The good thing is, we haven't left the building.
Yeah,
we've literally done nothing as per usual in the last half an hour.
Just some character interaction. You'll see it on the VOD. Sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on. It's like everything's different since I changed a monitor. But
Thanks for letting us know, Stain.
yeah, thanks. Yeah, sorry. Well, it should be fixed now, and hopefully that doesn't happen again. I don't know. The capture was on. That's all I know. The capture was on the way it always is, and yeah, I don't know.
Back to your regularly scheduled programming about food.
Well, just a quick recap, I guess. What's it called? Meryn and Havoc were talking about getting information about Kudiat, and apparently someone is coming to meet them
Yes.
soon. So they're sort of just waiting.
Soon TM.
Does anybody else want to do anything? If are we cutting away from your scene with interacting?
Well, I was actually gonna ask them a question.
Okay.
Nope. Yep, back to you.
And to recap for everyone else, Solo's outside talking to a kid who was looking at Kitty, and he's trying to bond with him. So he's gonna pull out a gold piece, and he's gonna give it to the kid, and he's gonna say, "Here, you can buy a whole bunch of noodles with this, but can you tell me something? Do you know if there's anyone here who maybe a blacksmith or someone who's good with tools who deals with weapons?"
Yeah. So the kid looks around to make sure nobody's seen him get the gold piece, and he tucks it away. He says, there is a blacksmith." He points. It's over around that side of the ring. It's close to the Machow Inn, if you know where that is.
I don't. I'm actually kind of new here.
He says, well, it's outside. I don't think he has a sign or anything, but you can't miss it. There's always smoke coming from the place. It's like a covered area. He kind of like he's waving his hands around, trying to describe it.
And then I'm moving closer to him, and I ask him, like in the whisper, "How about any magic items?"
What? I don't know where to get magic stuff, sir.
All right, that's it. What were you about to say? Sorry for interrupting you.
I was gonna say, the DM was gonna say, we might recognize the description of the blacksmith as the one that A-Team met.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, enjoy the noodles, kid.
Yeah, thanks for the food. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Share with your friends.
Yeah, he runs off immediately.
More money than he's ever seen in his life.
Yeah, some other kid's gonna stab him and take that money.
Yep. Or just, a random pickpocket is just gonna slit his throat for it. It's fine. He just killed the kid. It's all right.
Okay. Does anybody else want to do something before the guy shows up, half or whatever?
Vara's still just listening at her door for the sound of the person that they're talking to through the mind of Meryn.
Ambien wants to get a free lodging at this place, just by asking if he could perform here for the night and then get free lodging.
This isn't really the kind of place with a stage or anything. I mean, you could stand in a corner and like put out a hat, and perform, right? Like, I don't think you need a street performer's license or anything, but I don't think there's a performing area. Just letting you know.
This is
Okay.
if you remember, besides us, there's only one other patron in there.
That's
And it's a
true.
little small dingy tavern.
Yeah, it's like cramped and it smells kind of like mildew.
There's probably better places to try that.
Yeah, even in the dirt.
Yeah.
Or wait until we go into the inner rings.
You'll probably make more in the inner rings.
Yeah, certainly will. Certainly will make more. This place is beneath your artistic styles.
If you mention that you're going to try to get a free room, Vaira will say, "Why? I already have one."
Oh. Okay, can I sleep there for the night, Vaira?
How many beds are in this room?
One.
Yeah, it's one. It's also pretty. I think we described it already. I think I described it as being like 5 by 6 or something. Like, no, it's
Oh, right.
pretty
Yeah.
small room. There's
Yeah.
like enough room for a cot. I mean, it's packed with straw and stuff, so it's not like you're sleeping on and terribly uncomfortable. But it is small. With a desk and a
Vaira will
chair.
say, "Yes, you can sleep on floor."
Okay, maybe I can make that hut over there. Then that's fine.
Yes. Performing at this inn beneath you, sleeping on the floor, that's fine.
I mean, like I said, you can perform here. You find a corner and put down a hat or an empty bottle or something. You might get some tips. You never know.
Oh, maybe I'll start a rumor. Can I sow some rumors that there's
With
Okay.
the
in this
single
inn?
patron?
I mean, if he's a patron, and then there might be other people coming in, he could
Or the
I could pay
barkeep.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, there was that guy who's talking to the barkeep, right? You can go up and talk to them. And
Okay.
and what kind of rumors are we talking about spreading here?
Oh, I'm just spreading that there's a group of performers in this town, and they're famous for their performances.
Okay.
And they have a new act. It's regarding with the thing from the Wolf Springs.
Okay. So I guess this would be like a deception roll to see how good you are at starting this rumor.
Yikes.
See if you can convince these guys that there's some famous folks in town they don't yet know about, I guess. Okay.
Oh boy.
When we get a roll over 10 this game, I'm going to celebrate.
Yeah. Well, Meryn got an 11 earlier. All
I
right.
got two of
he
them,
rolled
actually.
A 5.
Yeah, he did-
He rolled a 5 and got an 11. That's
Oh
not
yeah,
the same.
yeah. Okay. So I think what happens is one of them rolls his eyes, and he says, I'll have you know, I don't miss a show in this town. I may come here to drink, but I'm a connoisseur of fine shows, and I've never heard of these people you're talking about. Frankly, he's like, and also, I don't recognize your face. Are you even from here?
You don't know Gilliman, the most famous bounty hunter?
They look at each other and they look back at you, bounty hunter. No, and then I think the barkeep like crosses his arms, and he like kind of leans back and he says, "No, bounty hunter, tell me all about who this great Gilliman is. I've never heard of."
That's me.
Oh
Can't
yeah,
you see?
you're looking like him too right now, right?
Yeah.
The disguise of 20.
Okay, let me just roll a d20. See if they have heard of Gilliman. Ooh. yeah, the guy at the bar, the guy who's sitting at the bar, not the barkeep, he goes, "Wait, Gilliman, bounty hunter, isn't that guy who screws up every job he takes?" And the the bartender goes, "Yeah, he's a magic kind of guy, but he's never had any success with bounties. Like the guy's a total joke. I don't think he's ever been able to capture or even kill a housefly." Wait, you're Gilliman?
Yes, it is I, Gilliman the Great. I think somebody's spreading rumors about me that are false.
So wait, you're trying to convince us that you're this great bounty hunter, but you didn't tell us it was you were talking about?
This is going as well as all of the things we try to do.
You said do.
I
The guy takes a sip of his just like the audio the first hour of this session. The guy takes a sip of his mug and he kind of slams it down and he says, "You know, Gilliman, that's kind of a rookie move to go boasting about yourself without telling them and then revealing that you were talking about you all along."
And then I use shape water again to spill a drink on this guy. Watch your mouth. I know magic.
All right.
Hey, what's going on down there?
So the guy stands up and he reaches for his weapon and he says, "Hold on now, you're paying for that."
Paying for what? I can't even afford this inn.
The barkeep says, "Oh, come on now, Gilliman, you spilled the man's drink. It's not very nice. You're gonna have to buy him another one."
How much is that drink? Does that drink cost?
It's only 7 copper.
Okay, I have that. I pay him 7 copper.
Nice drinks at this inn.
Yeah. Okay. So the guy says, "Huh? I heard Gilliman never pays for his drinks." And the barkeep like hands the guy a rag and he wipes the beer off his face. You know, he doesn't say anything, but he looks kind of irritated. Like you're about to start a fight with this guy. That's what's happening. Just so you know.
Calm down.
He's letting it go for now. He's not like saying anything.
Calm down. We don't need to.
All right, Gilliman, that's fine. I've had enough of listening to your fantastic stories of your great exploits. I'm sure you've tracked down many great high bounties. Now, can you please leave us alone?
All right. I just head upstairs to find Vaira's room.
Through the mental link, I'll say, well, that went well.
Does anybody else want to cause a scene?
What went well?
Oh, just Ambien making friends.
Is Ambien gonna tell Vaira that he's on his way up, or?
Oh, I'm on my way.
And she's gonna open the door and stab him.
No, I just wanted to know if you were gonna go from door to door, or if you were gonna ask her where she's at.
Where are you at, Vaira?
I think it was the first door on the left, so she'll tell.
Yeah, it was something
First
like
door
that.
left.
I see.
It was the nicest room in the place.
It was?
Yeah, I mean, you way overpaid for it. So they gave you
gold.
they gave you you asked for the nicest room, and then she like looked you up and down, and she was like 2 gold, and then you actually paid 2 gold, which is way overpriced for this place. So they did give you the nicest room. It's just they don't have nice rooms.
I think she just said she wanted a room, but nicest room works too.
Okay, yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
sad for the nicest room, but
Yeah, I mean it is. Yeah.
This is the Dirt District. These people are poor. They're gonna know exactly how to recognize a rube.
Yeah.
So, you could just go meet up with Vaira? Is that what's going on?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm now down here all alone. Cool. I actually prefer this.
It's a perfect time for the assassins to strike.
Yep, bring it.
Rappelling in through the windows, clad in all black. No.
After Ambien gets to Vaira's room, Vaira will call through the link. You have to get your own room, Havoc. There's not enough room for you.
I very much doubt we're going to be sleeping here.
Well, your friend is staying here.
We're not friends.
And he's not actually staying here.
He has
Or am
room.
I?
This isn't like you don't stay. If you're super paranoid, I assume you don't stay at the same place all the time.
I assume that you don't know for sure.
Well, if I had to meet you in different places or not. If I always meet you here,
Yeah,
then
you
I
probably had to
suppose-
meet me in different places.
Okay, that's the assumption I was going
This
off
is
of.
just the last one that we'd scheduled to meet at, I'd say.
Right. Always changes, usually dinky places, I'm assuming.
Mhm.
Out of
Yeah.
the way. Okay. That's what I assumed. I won't respond to that through the bond, though.
Is Half here yet?
Yeah, do you guys want to cut to Half getting here?
Not yet.
I'm sure
That's
he'll be here
the-
any
yes,
second.
if you want to cut to it.
It's, yeah. I mean, what anybody else wanted?
Unless Soul's going to do something outside.
Yeah, you want to start a scene outside, Soul? He's like,
Soul doesn't know what's happening inside, so he just
Right.
goes to wait outside.
It's been like an hour now. He's just been sitting out there waiting.
Yeah, and he doesn't want.
Some people have gone to bed and just left him out there, like he's a horse or something.
Well, it's still daytime. We
Does
were at,
anything
like,
else happen? Like outside
Wait.
while I'm waiting?
I mean, people are walking by and stuff. I think at one point you see these two guys walk by in dark leathers. You know, we would recognize them as devils, right? And they just sort of mean mug the cat for a second, and then look at you, and then look at towards the inn, and then just keep walking.
Has it really been an hour of their interactions inside?
I mean,
Yeah, 'cause I would.
probably not a full hour.
Okay, because if it has, then Soul would have had to
Recast Alter Self. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
That's why Vaira went up to the room so that if it wears off, she doesn't have to recast it right away.
Since how so many spells have an hour time limit and whatnot, I assume magic users are pretty adept at keeping a decent kind of sense of time and
Yeah.
when they will wear off.
Well, yeah, I mean, one of the things
It's not
about
like it's going to be a surprise.
yeah, well, I know Vaira's not a wizard anymore, but one of the things I've heard about wizards with high intellect is that they can always keep a timer going in their head, kind of like singing a song and writing down something at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Like they can keep stuff going in their head like that in a weird, that's what one of the things you can do with high intellect is all I'm saying.
Oh.
Like that's sort of what I've heard the way people explain some like knowing having your spells prepared for the day or something has like you've partially cast some of them and you're concentrating on them in your head or something. I don't know. I've heard people talk about all this stuff. People nerd out on the mechanics of things.
Yeah.
That's a very Dragonlance kind of magic description. I don't know if
Okay.
you're familiar with those books, but that's sort of how they handle magic as well.
Right on.
So has
So-
anything
It's
else
a bit
happened for
late.
Soul outside?
Sorry, what was the question?
Go ahead, Soul.
Oh, I was gonna say, so is everyone just waiting inside for an hour or more?
Think so.
Well, I was just gonna. I can skip to the guy getting there, but it sounded like you guys wanted to hold off. So, if there's something else that you guys are wanting to do,
I'm good to skip.
I'm good to skip.
I'm good to skip.
my phone keeps going off, and I don't know where it is. Like I just hear it beeping. Like I just hear it
That's a little
beeping somewhere in the room. Okay. All right. So we skip ahead to half arriving, I guess. Why is it still going off? Just stop. Stop
Someone's
doing
trying
that.
to get hold of you.
I found it and then I just threw it into the room somewhere. Okay. Half arrives. I guess Soul would see the person first. I am still I kind of want them to not be a halfling. I was thinking about them maybe being a Goliath or something. You know, kind of like calling the big guy tiny or whatever, you know? Maybe half Goliath, half orc or something. Yeah, just a big muscly dude with an axe on his back. He's wearing like furs and stuff. I mean, there's some like leather armor under there, but he's probably got a lot like a deer fur around his shoulder or something, just sort of draped around him, like a half-made cloth. And yeah, he comes walking up to the inn. Soul, you'd see him first if you wanted to stop him outside, but I don't think, like, you don't have any real reason to.
I think I would take note of him. And
Yeah,
then
definitely.
I would not say
Yeah,
anything.
he stands out. Yeah.
I would probably not say anything.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, he stomps up to the inn, and yeah, he just walks in, takes a look around. Is he looking for anybody in particular, Meryn?
He might be looking for me, but I'm not done there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, so he takes a look around. There's not many people in here. His eyes linger on Havoc for a second. I think he intentionally makes eye contact with you, Havoc. And he holds it just a little bit too long. And then he walks towards the bar. And yeah, I mean,
Is Halfling here yet?
the the boards like sigh under his weight. Yeah, and he sits down at the bar. The barkeep hands him a drink. He doesn't have to ask for what it is. Like he knows, the guy knows what he's ordering basically. And yeah, was it a girl? I mean, it was a guy a minute ago. We're having that scene.
The barkeep was a girl.
Yeah, fine. It's fine. It's a girl. Yeah, it was a girl last episode. Okay. Yeah, so she hands him whatever he was gonna have. He doesn't have to ask for it. And then she says, "Hey, how's it going, Half?" And then, he says, "Oh, just fine, just fine. Looking for another drink, I guess. Could use a break from things. You seen Meryn around?" Yeah, and they presumably start having a conversation.
So, through the bond, Havoc will say, Meryn, what did Hef do in this household?
I'm assuming he was just muscle for hire or something.
Yeah, probably killed a few people.
I mean, big dumb orc things. What do you think? Look at him.
He's here.
his orc half is probably why he's late.
You should come down and find out what you can.
He didn't use my name, did he?
Sure did.
Damn it! Told him not to. He might be burnt. I don't know if we can trust him anymore.
Let's see
Ignore
what he
him.
has to say. No.
Abort mission. Abort mission.
10%.
You hear very small halfling or very small gnome footsteps in the distance coming down the stairs. I kind of slowly, take bigger steps than I should have to on the human-sized stairs until I get down to the bottom and carefully look around the corner and then kind of walk into the bar, sit down at a table that has no one at it. I don't like this. I don't like this one bit.
Are you saying that in the bond or?
In the bond, yeah. He's late. He used my name. I don't know about this one.
Yeah, so I guess at some point he turns around and sees you, and he says, and he's probably halfway through his pint or whatever by this point. And he says, "Oh, Meryn, you made it!" And he gets up and he stomps over. Yeah, he starts and he says, What's the problem?"
I facepalm.
He starts tiptoeing towards you.
I kind of just slump my forehead into my hand even deeper and rub my temples. Who's Meryn? Who's that guy?
Hang on, let me see here. Oh, Meryn, he's just this friend of mine, real little guy, good with magic and stuff.
Oh.
He knows people, like...
He sounds really smart.
Yeah, he's got connections for everything. The guy, like, if you need information, Meryn's the guy to go to. If you need, if you need somebody that knows somebody, then Meryn's your guy. I mean, that's what I've heard. He's talking a little bit too.
Yeah, I don't know who that guy is.
Right.
Sounds really smart though.
Yes.
Very wise. Pretty good looking too.
I'll just sit at this table over here, and I'll just talk extra loud so you can hear me. And he sits down, and yeah, I mean he's at a table adjacent.
Through the bond. This is why you don't give orcs more than 2 sentences of instruction at a time. Yeah, you sit over there, stranger. And then through the bond. Havoc, help! Do something! Do something! Help!
And this is our key into his house. I am filled with confidence.
I told you we should have aborted. We should have just left. We could have burned down the inn and ran.
So we can disappear.
It's all going wrong. It's a mistake.
Do you want me to burn down the inn?
No, Vaira, wait.
Inns have a habit of burning around you guys, huh?
Bring him into the link.
You should know that she takes those things seriously. Be careful what you say.
I was dead serious. We might need to after this.
Okay.
Too
but
much
after
evidence here.
the information.
So,
Of course, of course.
So, anyways, Meryn, what do you need? Why don't you tell me about that job you need help on?
I don't respond.
Oh, come on! Why the long face? You're just being plain rude at this point. Now, you told me you needed help with something. I came. I need to make coin too. You know. Why don't you just tell me what it is you need help with?
Oh Jesus.
I look up. Oh, are you talking to me?
He just stares at you, slack-jawed.
Oh no, my name's not Meryn. My name's Manon.
Right, Manon. So why don't you tell me about that job you said you needed help with?
Job? Oh no jobs here, no work here. I'm just a very unintelligent commoner who happens to be a halfling
Are you
that is at this bar getting a drink
okay?
and renting a room.
He scratches his eyebrow. All right. You sure? You sure about this?
Yes.
He shrugs.
Havoc.
You want to
Bring him into the link.
Do you want to
Bring him into the link before he says too much.
You save this. Nope. You're on your own.
Do you want to make this
Oh
a
no.
check? Like
I'm not even gonna try on that one. You know, but that Meryn guy, you should whoever you're talking about, you should try reaching out to him. Maybe some other time. I don't know if he's here right now. Maybe I heard that he's a pretty secretive guy, so maybe be a bit quieter next time about it. That you would like to reach out to this smart and handsome man.
he leans down, like to get closer to you, and he says, listen, Meryn, are you in some kind of trouble or something? You're acting real weird. Do you need some help? Just
Stop calling me Meryn. Stop.
Well, if you're being held hostage, you just blink twice, and I'll just start stabbing fools in here. I don't care. I'll just
Only 200 people.
yeah.
We're all held hostage. We're all always held hostage. We're all always in danger. I make a very strong effort to, after blinking once on accident, not blink again. Okay, I'm going to blink for a second time, but don't stab anyone.
Yeah,
I blink again.
Yeah, he was probably halfway reaching for the axe on his back, and when you say that, his arm goes slack a little bit, so he doesn't immediately start cutting down people when you blink or anything.
At least whisper. And while we're here, my name is Manon.
Manon.
Yeah.
All right, Manon. So, what's the deal?
We're
Manon?
looking for some information on your last boss here. A while ago, there's that unfortunate business with
You talking about Crude Yacht?
a certain. Shh! Don't say his name. Shh. 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 Yes,
Okay,
I'm talking about him.
why don't I tell you what? Why don't you just tell me all the names that I can't say now?
I started rubbing my temples even harder. Just don't say any names. Rest of the day, no names. Nobody's name. At all.
Right.
So
His he gets like
your
1,000-yard stare. he's like, yeah, he's just like, right, no names, and he's like thinking about everything he's ever gonna say. You know, it's like, right, no name. He's really trying to focus on not saying names now.
I kind of snap in his face.
Yeah,
Hey,
he shakes
engineer.
his head. What?
Past employer. You're you know that guy whose name you said that we're not gonna say again.
Yeah.
Uh
The guy with the staff. What do I call
yeah,
him?
that no.
What am I supposed to call him? Manon.
That's the name.
Shit. Yeah, this is Manon. Shit. Yeah. He's the guy with all the money.
Yeah. What would you think about making him not as healthy and redistributing some of his wealth? Does that sound good to you? And then I facepalm for a moment. Sorry, orc terms.
Well, if you're saying I get to
Kill,
bust,
take money.
if you're saying I get to bust him up real good, that sounds fine to me.
Okay, we're gonna need your help. And you know, you can even have, if the mission succeeds, 5 gold. That's pretty much a fortune.
Make a persuasion check. You're gonna have to roll pretty high on this one.
I would just like
Oh.
I would just like it to be known that Havoc lost all confidence in this plan the moment there was talking.
Oh, what? Okay. Well, he rolls a 1.
Oh my god.
So I think what he says is yeah, you know, I used to make a lot more money than 5 gold, but you gotta do what you gotta do when you're in the dirt.
And inflation, you know. The economy and stock markets, wages, economic growth, crash, depression. Yeah, all of those words. You know what some of those mean, right?
Yeah, it's fine. Once we get into the guy with the money's house, I can always just take something shiny and sell it.
Of course, yes. You know, if you give us all of the information that you have and you don't come with us, I'll give you all 5 of the gold now. How does that sound?
But then I don't get to bust him up real good.
Oh, but you'd have 5 gold now. And, you know, who knows what 5 gold will be worth in 2 days? It might be worth no gold. You don't know?
All right, fine. What's the information you want?
I pull out a piece of paper from my bag, and it has just a long list of all of the things that we were talking about that we wanted information on it.
Yeah,
And I hand it to him.
Oh,
All of these things.
what makes you think he can read?
Can you read?
Yeah, he can read common, I think. I mean, he may be a grunt, but he was a highly paid grunt, right?
You've been RPing him as 4 intelligence. I'm sorry, I just assumed.
Yeah.
Meryn's
fair
also a
enough.
little racist and assumes that he's stupid because he's half orc
Yeah.
and half Goliath.
No, he's a company man. He is half orc and half Goliath, but he was a success for a brute. I mean, he makes sense that he'd know how to read at least. Okay. So you just basically hand him a list of all the stuff that you guys asked me earlier. Basically.
Yeah.
All right.
Why not?
So he can probably tell you where his house is. What else did you guys ask about? Guards and stuff like that?
Yeah.
What sort of
guard-
defenses? Is anyone checking his food and drugs for poison?
Yeah, I mean the house is a fortress. There are armed guards. He used to work in these guards, basically. He rotates him out to do different things, but he's always got guards around. They're well-trained fighters. I mean, this guy is rich. He pays top dollar, to get the best folks he can.
How many guards? How high are the walls?
Let's see here. There are walls all around the property that are here. We can just find an area on the map here.
I'd say this one looks the biggest.
Yeah, that would be fine. Here, let me put something there. There we go. I'll just for now, just have it marked. Okay, so there's we'll say 8-foot walls around the property. There's like a gardening space, and there's a big housing unit, so like a big mansion. I mean, it's cramped, like right. There's not a huge amount of space in this kind of cramped town, but it's a mansion in the sense that it's like several stories tall, and there's lots of bedrooms, more than he needs, certainly. And it's very nice place. There's probably a few dozen guards spread throughout the place. And he doesn't always keep like all of his guards working, right? So he rotates them out. There's some that are on other jobs in other places, but at least a few dozen. Almost as high as this orc can count.
Are they all as skilled as you?
They're not all brutes. Some of them are more agile fighters. There might even be a few mages in there. Crude Yat is known to try to cover all bases, right? So he might even hire psychics and stuff like that, which might be why he turned on you guys, right? He might have been scrying on you guys or something along those lines and not been happy with what he saw. Maybe he saw that you guys broke the device, and that's why he issued.
It's all Soul's fault.
But yeah, I mean, he uses anything he can. So he'll get magic users, he'll get psychics to help him. He spares no expense, and his pockets are essentially bottomless. What else would you like to know?
What does he deal?
Sorry?
How does he make his money?
I think he owns a lot of property, so he comes from money for one. So that's part of it. He's kind of like old money, old military family, but high esteemed military family. And he probably owns a lot of property in various places. I mean, he has this house here, but he might have a place in Creation. He might have various places all all throughout. And he might rent out places too. He might serve as landlord. He obviously runs like a mercenary company, right? And he does various things to make money. He might even sell things, right? He's really into vices. He probably sells illicit goods from time to time. He seems to have a thing about magical artifacts. Maybe he sells those too. There's a lot of things I think that he might be involved in that this orc might not necessarily know, but could sort of give you. He could give you information that might lead you to deduce that, if that makes sense. Like, oh, I did see him one time with this thing, and he gave this thing to this guy. And I don't know what it meant, but you're like, oh, well, he was trading that thing to this guy for whatever, you know.
So well, I guess is he talking out loud now? How is he telling? Is he writing these down?
Well, probably a little bit of both.
He's not very smart.
I mean, he's writing stuff down. Every once in a while, he gets to a word where he has trouble spelling it or whatever. And he's also just very animated, right? So he forgets that he's supposed to be being quiet, and then he starts talking loudly. But he doesn't.
Then I go, shh.
Yeah. He doesn't forget that he's not supposed to say names, right? So he doesn't say any of that stuff out loud. But he is pretty resourceful, right? So if you ask for I don't know, like a basic layout of the grounds, he might be able to be like, okay, this is kind of where the garden area is set up, and this is sort of where the building is set up, and it's this many stories. Like, he might be able to draw a relatively decent diagram for you.
All right.
I was going to ask that, and through the bond, I will ask Meryn to question whether or not he ever leaves his residence, goes anywhere, how many guards he takes with him if he does, where he goes.
Yeah, he does travel and stuff all the time. He only recently came into town here. And yeah, he usually keeps a private guard of at least a dozen, probably, people traveling with him. Like, think like a Secret Service escort kind of thing, but with, horses instead of limousines.
So he goes to lots of different places. He's not someone who has a set routine. He goes to a temple every day or something.
He's not. He doesn't really go to temple. No. He has meetings with various dignitaries. He's probably meeting with a few people while he's in town here, for a few days. I mean, I don't think that that this guy that half here gets his schedule or whatever.
No, right.
But yeah, I mean, he's probably he'll go see various military leaders, and either just to have like a dinner, or to catch up with an old friend, or to have an afternoon of what do they call it? Leisure, I guess is the word for it, where they might go out drinking or whatever, or go to a fancy place to catch a show or something.
I assume this is
all with entourage, of course.
Havoc and Meryn piecing together the info from what he's actually saying, which is much less informative.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, he does travel around, and he's probably not going to be staying in town forever. So you're close to him. If you can get into Jade, he might be leaving soon. So if you're wanting to strike, then the time is probably now. Or at least in the next few days, right?
Well, seems like a good plan to me.
Is that
Good information, at least.
through the bond?
Yeah.
Okay.
He whispers, seems like some good information to Half, but through the bond, he's like, I think we can make a plan out of this.
We'll work on it. Just Make sure he's
Out
not
of
going to
what?
continue talking.
I give him 5 gold. Thank you for your help tonight.
Yeah, he hands one. Are you guys upstairs, like away from everybody, or like?
No, they're sitting at a table.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay,
Yep.
yeah, he's gonna take one of the gold and hand it to the barkeep immediately. And to get more drink and stuff.
Drinks for a fortnight.
Yeah. He's just gonna be like, he's just gonna put a gold coin on the counter and just be like, keep him coming.
Great. He's going to be here for a while.
And I'm gonna take the paper that he had, or that I handed him. No.
Yeah,
Well,
you
it's
just
time to get rid of this.
don't want anybody to get a hold of that, I guess.
Yeah, I read over the entire thing, make sure I remembered all of it, and
Oh,
then
God.
just crumple it up.
Swallow
And
it. Swallow it.
I'm thinking if that's what I'm doing. I probably like open my mouth like I'm gonna swallow it, and then look at his fingers and check if they look clean at all.
I mean, no, his fingers don't look
Yeah,
clean.
that's what he assumed.
No, like you look at his fingers, and he like the tips of his fingernails are splintered in some places, and there's just a thick line of that black grime underneath his fingernails that you get when just from working and stuff, right? Or beating heads in, whatever this guy's been doing.
I keep looking at it for a moment. And I kind of look around for any candles or torches.
God.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably torches up. If it's still daytime, they wouldn't be lit, though. I don't know if we've gotten into nighttime yet. But I mean, you can fix that. You know magic and stuff. Like you can just.
The only way I have to light a fire is fireball, and I don't think that's a very good idea.
Yeah, maybe not the best idea.
It might be needed at this point, honestly.
I mean, I did think about it, but I feel like it's even bigger of a spectacle by a small amount. Not much could be a bigger spectacle on this. I just pull out my little bottle of ink, and I just completely dunk the paper in it,
Okay.
and then I pull it out, and I just drop it on the ground.
Okay.
Well, time to go. And I walk out.
So
Did you walk out of the inn?
Yep.
So
God, okay.
you leave the note there. How thoroughly did you soak it in ink?
Enough that I wouldn't be able to see the difference between the written on page and soaked parts.
Okay, so you drench it with ink.
Yeah.
And you just leave it. You just throw it.
I
on
probably
the
used
floor.
like half of my bottle of ink.
Yeah. Okay. When you get up to walk away, I think we see the barkeep. She runs up and like picks up the piece of paper and she's like, ugh, and she like puts it in like or on a tray or something and wipes her hands on herself and starts trying to clean it off the floor. But of course it's a mess. But the floor is just a mess. Like the ink is just there's blood stains and beer stains and weird smells. Yeah, it's not like a huge deal or anything.
Might have been the first time they had real authentic ink in there.
Hey, Soul's the robot here, not you.
Good ink. High quality ink.
Yeah. It's probably the most expensive ink this bar has ever seen. Okay. So I guess as you get up and leave, Half is going to do the same. Well, he's gonna stay and drink probably. But he'll get up and go to the bar. Anybody else want to do a thing?
I said I was getting up to leave just before Meryn did.
Yeah, he was getting up to.
Okay, so Soul.
I didn't see that when I said it, so I'd probably wait about a minute after having left to leave,
Yeah, okay.
so it didn't look like we were associated.
So Soul, a big horned demon walks out of the bar. It's just Havoc, though.
Oh, everything
Still
good?
sitting here, huh?
Well, you told me to wait outside.
Didn't think it was gonna take this long.
What's the plan?
We need to go somewhere where we can plan.
Through the
Well-
mental link. Well, that went better than most of my interactions with him.
That's
Isn't, isn't that what you went in there to do?
No, we went in there to find out some information, which we have. I'll fill you in soon. Through the bond, I'm gonna say, what are the rooms like up there?
Small.
Small. Well,
Okay.
actually, pretty big.
Find
Small
us an inn
for
that has.
humans.
Find us an inn that has a conference room so we can sit and discuss.
Discuss in the same room? Are you crazy?
We'll put the magical dome up or something. Havoc knows that doesn't work on sound, but
You probably hear a little bit of hyperventilating through the mental link. Tiny huts do not bubble sound.
I hope you guys enjoyed your rooms. We're leaving.
Where are you guys going?
To another inn.
Paid 2 gold
Oh.
for that room like an hour ago.
Rule number 1 when you're doing bad things, don't stay in the same place where you did it.
All right.
I mean, she didn't do it, right?
Yeah. She did show up with us, though, and people will remember.
Vaira is gonna have to recast the alter self if it's been
Yeah,
over
I'm
an
gonna do
hour.
the same.
So
Okay.
she's gonna go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
She's gonna look like the same as when she entered the city. So
Yeah. I mean, everybody who's got stuff that had like an hour time, you can go ahead and redo that. Just, be aware if you're in public and it has, verbal components and stuff. People might know what's going on.
Actually, before we leave, I probably yawn very loudly in the middle of the bar, walk up to my room and cast invisibility on myself, and then leave.
I probably would have hid myself a little behind the shell when I did it.
I don't think it's that big.
Yeah, it's an empty shell now.
Yeah.
It is a shell of its former self. Yeah, I mean, you could find a place. You could find a place to tuck behind a building or somewhere out of sight if you like.
Havoc, what do you think of finding a place to get weapons / sell all of the weapons that we found?
Oh, yours broken.
Well, Kitty is full, and I want to sort of
Kitty is
Dump.
full.
dump a lot of our goods and turn them into gold.
My cat needs to take a dump. Can you help?
So as we're standing there waiting for people to come down from the inn,
Yeah.
we can do.
You
that
hear
as
a whisper next to you. Are you an alchemist? Do you know how to turn things into gold? I'd pay good gold for that secret. Just invisibly next to you.
Havoc, do you hear something?
Just an
In the
annoying
mental link,
sound.
say you don't hear anything.
An annoying what?
An annoying sound.
Is it going to be following us? We should probably leave. We don't
For the
want.
time being,
Good job covering up for me. In the mental link.
Is there any way to get rid of it?
just refer to it by name. Meryn.
Oh, its name is Meryn?
You see a small pair of footsteps going off in the distance to follow at a more reasonable length.
Through the mental link, I'll tell him find us an inn. And a blacksmith.
I'm assuming I would know where the inn and blacksmith were. Or where another inn and where the blacksmith were.
Yeah, probably. I mean, there might be more than one blacksmith. Let me.
Yeah, it's a big city. I assume there's.
Yeah, there probably.
Which blacksmith do you want to see?
A capable one.
A kid told me about one that's nearby, but
I mean, most of the blacksmiths here aren't all that great, but we have a couple that are alright.
We can probably
Nothing like we could do back in the day.
pass into the stone district without issue.
yeah, I was thinking maybe going into the inner rings to go find one.
It's gonna cost you money, but
There's tolls.
yeah, I think that's the way we had discussed in
Yep.
before.
Yeah,
I
he
wasn't
missed
here
out
for
on that part.
I mean, unless you're a monk. If you're a monk and you've been like accepted into the monastery, one of the monasteries or whatever, it's a free pass. But
I imagine Havoc's never been past the stone district, even on his jobs. How much do the tolls cost?
does anybody remember what I said before?
I
Nothing
don't think
would
it's
be
fine.
fine.
Gold.
Wait,
What?
one person
That
at
was
a time.
everybody. Yeah.
I don't think you set an amount. You just said that we need to pay gold.
And then it's more for the inner rings.
Yeah.
I think
Mhm.
there was one of them was 10 gold, and the other was like 5 times that or something. I don't
That
remember
sounds
exact,
about right.
but
It's way cheaper if you just fly over it.
it's more expensive the further in you go in.
Oh, I plan to.
Actually, would I know if there were defenses above that stopped you from flying over and skipping the toll?
Make an Arcana check.
Okay, hang on.
I'm gonna say
Or
he's gonna roll.
history, I
Four.
suppose.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's excellent.
All right. There is almost certainly some kind of magical barrier on the inner rings. So on the temples to the Arcana and the Citadel Monasteries rings, these two rings
Mhm.
have runes along the walls that you've seen with your own eyes. But
Okay.
you did roll pretty good. But
So
like I
I'm
said,
clear to fly into the Jade District?
yeah, you could theoretically find another way around the wall to get into the Jade. But yeah, there's something I don't think you know exactly if it's a force field or what it is, but there's something going on with the walls on the other ones. You probably don't want to chance it if you're going further in.
Yeah.
Those poor birds being killed by the hundreds as they try to fly over.
Yeah, I don't think it's like signs or anything where they're like, oh, the bird flew into an invisible spaceship or something. But there's something going on with those walls for sure.
Instead of migration season, they call it the season of the red rain.
All right. Bed makers just rejoice because of all the free feathers.
And the Kenku. What happened to
Don't
that?
fly.
That's true, I guess. Fine.
Haven't for a long time. That's the sore point.
Should we make our way to the iron ring or the stone ring? I mean,
I would assume that the things that we can find there will be better than the dirt, so that would be my suggestion.
I pop the hawk out of the pocket dimension, pull out my saddle from my bag, and pop the saddle onto the hawk. Hop on.
Got a
I'll meet you in the
saddle.
Stone District.
So there's just a hawk with a saddle and an invisible gnome on
A
it.
teeny tiny little saddle.
I did the math and it weighs a third of a pound if we're going off of exotic saddles for horse-sized mounts that fly.
Great.
Relative to the weight of a hawk. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
We make our way to the Stone District.
I definitely didn't
Executive
just put my face down and start laughing hysterically. All right, cool. Well, as you guys head off to the Stone District, maybe we see you starting to climb the stairs to where one of the guard posts is. Maybe you guys are passing in and down here or something. I don't know. You can pick an entrance if you want.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, while that's going on, I think now might be a good time for a break. Yeah.
Oh God,
Mm-hmm.
we've accomplished so much already.
Hey, this is way more than normal progress for 2 hours, okay? We're doing good today.
I mean, it's a shopping episode. We haven't started the shopping yet, but yeah, it's going great.
Oh, I did just realize that my invisibility actually wears off when I make myself lighter to be able to fly.
Okay.
So I'm not an invisible gnome, I'm just gonna fly pretty high up.
All right. You guys just go ahead and keep burning all those spells. I'm sure it won't be important.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess if everybody's cool with it, we'll be back here in 5 to 10. Is that okay with everybody?
Sure.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Thanks, guys. We'll be back in a few minutes. If you enjoy the video, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe.